Hi guys, Harry here from the Art Gear Guy. Thank you so much for joining me today. As you can see, I have a comparison video. So this time I thought I would gather together all the water soluble products from Caran. So you'll see here, just let me get my pencil here so I'm not using my big fat porky fingers to point. So you'll see here I have 6 water soluble products from Caran. Now we have, and this is kind of like, I've set this out in order of quality. So we have the Fancolor here, which Caran have marketed those towards kids. The Caran Swisscolor, which there are 2 sets of Swisscolor. There is the water soluble set here, which I'm showing you, and they also have a non-water soluble set, which are identical in terms of the packaging. So that's just something that you always need to be aware of. Incidentally, I have individual reviews of all of these products, which I'll place links for down below if you want to go across and take a look at the individual reviews of each product. Next is the Caran Prismalo. I actually really like these pencils. So I never mentioned this, sorry. So the Swisscolor is what I would consider aimed at entry-level student grade. Okay, then with the Prismalo, just slightly above like entry-level student grade. Now I wasn't 100% sure whether I was going to add in the Caran Neocolor here, but because technically all of these are pencils except for the Neocolor, which is a crayon. But I thought to myself, you know, if I don't add it in, people will ask about it in any case. So I just thought, for the sake of the comparison, add it in. And it's up to you then whether you, in your own mind, kind of like include it in the comparison. Next up is Caran Supracolor Soft 2. Now, these pencils are Caran aimed these at high-end student grade coloured pencils. They're kind of, a lot of people compare them to the Faber-Castell Abac Dur, which I will do a comparison video of at a later date. So that's kind of where the Supracolor Soft fall into. And then we have the Caran Museum Aquarelle, which are their artist quality, their artist grade water soluble pencils. Now what I'm going to do is, I've done some artwork with all of these pencils, which I'll show you in a second, and all I'm going to do here is just show you me activating these with water, and then you'll be able to see the subtle difference between each pencil as we're going up the quality scale, so to speak. I do want to just mention one thing. Although Caran have aimed the Fancolor at their kind of like their kids range, it's important to note that the Fancolor pencils, and I mentioned this in my review of them, sit in and around about where a lot of companies who have made student grade water soluble pencils, the Fancolor would sit in around about that mark. So although these pencils are aimed at, the Fancolor's aimed at kids, you've got to take that with a grain of salt, because every product Caran does is high quality. The pigments that they use are exceptional, and the level of pigments that they put in these products as well is so incredibly generous. Obviously, when you are getting up to the Museum Aquarelle, we're talking about light fastness and things like that, but that's not information I'm going to be talking about here today. If you want to know more about the light fast information on all of these, I'll have it over on the written review, but also as well, if you want to go across and take a look at the individual reviews of these products, all of that information is included on those as well. Incidentally, the paper that I've used here for this swatch is the St Cuthbert's Mill Saunders Waterford Rough. This is a gorgeous paper. It's 100% cotton paper, by the way, and it's a really, really good quality. And it's the same paper that I used for the artwork, which I'll show you in a second. And by the way, I am using the term artwork loosely, okay? It's just 6 individual images that it's all the same image, but just done 6 times with the products. But we'll get into that more when we come to it. Okay, so we're just going to start with a Fancolor, and then we'll work our way around. And also one other thing before I start. I've tried to obviously get all of the colours as close to identical as I can. The only set in the Caran range that have the colour actually wrote on or printed on the barrel is the Supracolor Soft. All the others don't have that, but you can obviously go to the Caran website, and when you buy the products, there is like a pamphlet inside which gives you the names of the colours as well. So, but for the sake of speed and what have you, I just selected the colours that looked as close to identical as I could get, rather than having to go in and out of the website and check out all this stuff or look through my notes. And although this comparison isn't like, scientific, in other words, I'm not going to be able to put on the same amount of water on every single application, things like that. I'm doing my best here to show you how these work. So you can see there, I mean, like I say, don't forget these pencils here, the Fancolor, are aimed at kids. And I've made a video about this before in the past, about parents going wrong by giving their kids low grade products when they are, just starting out as kids, or certainly in and around the ages of 11 or 12. And my wife and I did exactly the same thing. Now you can see here that although the pigment on the red there is quite strong, it's not lifting it all off, which in fairness is to be expected with the kids grade product, and red is quite a staining pigment as well. It obviously didn't do it with the yellow. We'll have to see what the blue's like. So the blue's lifting off a lot better. I'm sorry about the noise in the background, guys. We've got scaffolders all over the place here at the minute. So you can see there that the blue lifted off okay, and now we're just going to come up to the green. And I haven't laid down heavy pressure when I've been applying these coverings. I've just done 3 layers on each to make sure I've got a decent level of colour on there so that you can see it. But you can see there on the red and the green that the pencil strokes are still visible underneath, and that is an indication of whatever water soluble pencil that you've got, that there's more binder than there is pigment in that pencil. So next up we've got the Caran Swisscolor. There's the yellow, so it's definitely a little bit stronger there in terms of the pigment strength. Next up is the red. So again, you can see the difference there. And like I say, the Swisscolor is kind of aimed at slightly older kids, so like early teens. Next up is the blue. Again, you can see the difference there in the pigment strength. It's quite significant, and like I said, to be expected. Okay, next up, the green for the Swisscolor. Now, I know watercolor pencils are not everybody's cup of tea, but if you enjoy water-soluble products or watercolors in general, having a set of watercolor pencils is a great thing to have, especially if you enjoy going out and about, doing urban sketching or landscape and things like that. Because with the pencils, you can just work quite fast, and then just as you can see here, just activate it dead easily. Next up, we got the Caran Prismalo. Now the Prismalo they kind of like sit just slightly above the Swisscolor in terms of who they're marketed at. So high school kids or entry level college kids dipping their toe in the art, the Prismalo is a really good pencil to try. You can see just a little tiny hint of the pencil under the red there. Next up is the blue. And you can, you get an indication as to how far or the kind of coverage that you're going to get from a water soluble pencil. Bearing in mind it's not a lot, that you have to apply dry in order to get a decent coverage. Finally, the green here for the Prismalo. There we go. Now, like I say, I wasn't 100% sure as to whether or not I was going to use or include the Caran Neocolor into this comparison, but I thought, what the heck, I might as well. Now, it's also worth noting here as well, this is a completely different medium. So it's like a wax type crayon. I'm sure you already know what the Neocolor looks like. I have some images that'll pop up, so I've got a little bit of pigment there from a different color, sorry. But you can see for yourself that the Caran Neocolor is really rich and vibrant in pigment quality and quantity as well. The Caran Neocolor is up there with kind of like artist grade products. But with it being a different medium than the pencils, you have to understand that it might look a little bit different underneath. But you can, at the same time, look at just how rich and vibrant the colors are once it's activated. Okay, next is the blue. And now up with the green. With the other sets that I've shown you here in this comparison, the Fancolor, the Swisscolor, the Supracolor Soft, the Prismalo, and the Museum Aquarelle, I have the full sets, like the biggest sets of all of them. With the Neocolor, I only have the 30 set, so I don't have the full range of Neocolor. Just thought I would mention that, because obviously when I was doing the artwork, I had a little bit more range of colour that I could use with the others there. Right, next up is the Caran Supracolor Soft. Now, like I say, this pencil is considered to be comparable to, or certainly in competition with, the Faber-Castell Aquarelle. I'm not 100% sure. It's been a long time since I've tested the Aquarelle, the Faber-Castell Aquarelle. I only have a 24 set of those, but I will do a comparison of the Supracolor Soft and the Faber-Castell the Faber-Castell Aquarelle. You can see the difference there. The vibrancy of the colour in the Supracolor Soft is really nice. Okay, next up is this lovely blue. There you go. I will show you comparison, like side by side images, once this is finished. Next up is the green for the Supracolor Soft. The Supracolor Soft, actually, incidentally, they come in a set of 120. It's the biggest count for the Supracolor Soft, which I'm guessing is one of the reasons why they are pitted against the Faber-Castell, because they have the same kind of count. The Fancolor biggest set for them is 40. Swisscolor, the biggest set for them is 30. The Prismalo, the biggest set for them is 80. Like I say, 120 for the Supracolor Soft. And the Museum Aquarelle is 76 or something like that. I can't remember. I'll have it over in the written review, the exact number, but I think it's 76. I have the wooden box set of the Museum Aquarelle because they're just gorgeous, and that's where we're going to next here. You can just see there straight away. The red now for the Museum Aquarelle. And like I say, with the Museum Aquarelle, the light fast information will be one of the key factors as to the reason why they are Caran d'Ache's kind of like flagship water soluble pencil. But also, as you can see, the pigment quantity is just spectacular. Okay, and with the blue now. And then finally the green. Okay, so that's the final results of all of the water soluble pencils side by side. As you can see with the Fancolor, there's definitely still some, especially in the red and the green, there is evidence of the pencil strokes underneath them. And like I said, that is as a result of more binding agent than there is pigment. Because I didn't like push really hard or anything like that. But don't forget, these are kids' water soluble products. They're not for artists or anything like that, not even students. They're kind of like aimed at kids. Next up are the Swisscolor. You can definitely see a transition in quality coming up into the Swisscolor. Again, that's just aimed at sort of like 11, 12-year-old, 13-year-old kids, the Swisscolor. But having said that, although I keep saying this is what Caran d'Ache have aimed them at, obviously that doesn't stop artists from using them and, you know, still getting really good results from them. Next up is the Prismalo. Again, you can see there that there's a little bit of residue underneath. The Prismalo is a much thinner barrel, or well, it's round about the thinner core to the Swisscolor. I find the Prismalo a little bit harder. The core seems a little bit harder than the Swisscolor. Next, we have the Neocolor, and it's entirely up to you whether you place that in this comparison. But you can see there the strength of the pigment in the Neocolor II. Next up, the Caran d'Ache Supracolor Soft. Again, really well pigmented pencil, and a huge 120 set. And then the Museum Aquarelle. So I think you can see a subtle and transition from all of them all the way up to the Museum Aquarelle. Okay, so as you can see here, these are the 6 images that I've done with the products. Now, I've done little speed drawings of all of them, but I'm not going to put them up on like as an individual speed drawing video or anything like that, because it's just a waste of time. It'll not get many people watching it. You don't get much value from it. It's just to show you the way that they blend and things like that together. And so with the Fancolor, you can still see there that although it's still a kid's product, you can see they're using the Fancolor in a traditional sense. You can see that it still gives you really nice coverage and colour and things like that. With the Caran d'Ache Swisscolor, you can definitely see a jump up. And again, like, I didn't use identical colours because it's hard to tell, but they were almost identical. Obviously with the Supracolor Soft, I had a bigger selection to choose from, but I still tried to keep within this similar palette that I used throughout. But like I say, with the Swisscolor, definite improvement in pigment quality, and obviously layering and blending and things like that worked out really well. Incidentally, what I did was, for every single one of them, I used the pencils straight onto the paper, activated it with a watercolor brush, and then to start layering up, I used the Caran d'Ache palette, which I rave on about all the time. If you are a if you're a watercolor pencil lover or any water soluble products, this little thing here will just completely transform all of the products that you have that are water soluble, including markers, water soluble markers, because on the back here it's really smooth, and so you can use your markers on the back here to mix and things. Next up is the Caran d'Ache Prismalo. This is the third one here, and you can see again pretty similar to the Swisscolor. In fairness, not a huge jump, but there is a subtle difference between the Prismalo and the Swisscolor. I would love to know exactly how much of a difference there is in the Prismalo and the Swisscolor in terms of pigment ingredient. Not obviously, because you would never get told the ingredients in these pencils, but just like how much more pigment is used in the Prismalo over the Swisscolor, because they are both very similar pencils. With the Neocolor, obviously I couldn't use it on the paper here because the nature of the image that I'm drawing here, it's like got little fine edges and what have you, so I just used the palette for the Neocolor. So mixed up my colours and just put down like a first layer, and then came back in again and did a second layer and third layer. Caran d'Ache Supracolor Soft, you know, again, there's a definite increase in pigment quality over the Swisscolor and the Prismalo and the Fancolor, which is to be expected. Really nice, rich, vibrant colours in the Supracolor Soft. Really gorgeous colours. And like I say, with the 120 set, you have a lot of different colours, a lot of different greens and things you get there that you can choose from, which is one of the things I love about the Caran Pablo and the Caran Supracolor Soft. In both of those 120 sets, I really love the colours that they have in there for botanical artists. Finally, we have the Caran Museum Aquarelle, and again, you know, the difference is noticeable between the Museum Aquarelle and the Supracolor Soft. Again, as with all of the others, I just applied a covering of the pencil directly onto the paper, activate it with water, and then subsequent layers after that I used the Caran palette. And so all of these pencils, all of these products obviously work perfectly with the Caran palette, as you would expect. It's they're all from the same company. Anyway guys, that's my comparison video for the Caran water soluble products. Like I say, it's up to you whether you include the Neocolor into the comparison or you just take at face value the 5 watercolor pencils that are in there. Again guys, I apologize for the noise in the background, but the heat here at the minute is really bad, and I can't close the studio doors, and so unfortunately we have these scaffolders just drilling, and they have been for weeks now. So I apologize for the background noise, but if you want more information about the products themselves in terms of core size, barrel size, that kind of thing, I'll have all of that over on the written review. And don't forget as well, if you want to take a look at the actual products individually, a proper full review of whatever product you like the look of, I'll have links for those down below as well, so you can go across and watch the full review. Also as well, if you've got any questions, please leave them in the comments section down below. I love reading the questions, and I'm trying to get round to answering as many as I can. Or if you've got some experience yourself with these products, let me know in the comment section down below what you think of the different Caran products in comparison to other water soluble pencils or other water soluble crayons that are out there. So I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions on the 6 products that we've had on compare here. And also as well guys, if you would like to subscribe to the channel, I would really appreciate it. It really helps the channel out an awful lot. And if you've liked the video, only if you've liked it and you've got a little bit of value from it, please give it the video a thumbs up. And that's it guys. Thank you so much guys for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all again very soon. Bye.